We got some frogs here for you. Total transformation for April. This is where we are getting out of that hole that we created, our old life that was never aligned to us. And again, the more that we awaken and do the inner work, heal ourselves, ascend, the more unaligned that old life becomes. And we just can't handle it. We can't stand it. We can't live it for another day. But how do we move into the new? That's the hardest part, right? Seems like we're just stuck going in circles. Well, step one, you're going in circles, but you're spiraling upwards. Very slowly. The key, there's only one key. I'll talk about that today. I'll tell you all about it. How to move into the new. Today on Earth 1111. Hey, this is Roxanne. This is Earth 1111. Please subscribe and hit the bell, and I appreciate you if you can share the video. Just a quick video for you today. I have the waterfall in the background. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll try to yell. So, how do we squeeze the old out of our lives? Now is the time for action. April is for action. We need to really get rid of that old, that stuff that we're just carrying along, that we are just, it's not in alignment with where we are now. We've done a lot of work. We are different people. How do we finally move forward with a new life that is aligned to us? So the easiest way to squeeze the old out, just like a poo, we need to replace it by putting our energy, our attention, our effort into the new. So whatever is that new thing you want to create, that project you've been forestalling for your whole life, maybe for months, years, whatever that thing is, you need to start doing it. Little baby steps. Right now we are ascending into a higher dimension, which means our body is recoding itself. Our DNA recoding itself. It takes a lot of energy. So instead, little tiny micro steps towards the new. So we move towards the new by putting our energy, our money, our focus on the new. Total focus on the new. That's just like the slug. It moves us out of this hole that we've created for ourselves. If you're always worrying about the old, worrying about that money not coming in, worrying about that issue in your life, that anything, guess what? Every time you literally put your energy on that, you are feeding that. Your energy is an electric current, just like plugging something into the wall. Wherever you put your attention on, you are giving that electricity to that thing. You are feeding it. We need to starve the old. We starve the old by putting our attention on the new. Literally, micro movements, slow-mo, all it takes is a few minutes at a time. We do not need to be having a total life overhaul right now. Don't do that. We don't need to rush, but we do need to put your attention on the new over and over consistently. That's the key. If you do it once or twice and you act like, oh, it's not coming. Well, how much energy do you really put into the new? You barely got that thing rolling. We need to get it going and it will start moving by itself because you're feeding it. Remember, it's like plugging something in, charging it. You charge your phone for 1 minute, or do you allow your phone to charge? It's the same thing. Are you charging that new project, that new idea, that new life, that new habit? Or are you only plugging it in for a minute? Get that thing fully charged and you will watch it move on its own. And the old, we're starving it out. So, such a key moment. April is your total transformations, right? You got the frogs in the background saying it's time to transform. I don't hear frogs very often, and they've been chiming in for the past 2 weeks all the time. I've heard them almost every day. And before I had never heard them. So this is how important it is. Total transformation. We do that by putting our attention onto that new, starving the old, and watch your life in a couple weeks, couple months, You'll look around and be a total new person on the inside and the outside. Your life will have evolved to match you. Forget about the old. Let it starve. Again, when something comes up, never ignore something. When it comes up in you, when that fear comes up in you, allow it to dissipate. Tell yourself in that moment, that was then, this is now. I remember hearing about this before. I always loved it. That was then, this is now. Keep saying it. Say it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. All of a sudden your focus is back on you now. You're no longer worried or in fear about that old thing. You got it out of your system. Again, we don't numb it, we don't ignore it, we don't run to something else and go la 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 la, love and light. No, we don't do that. We allow it to be felt, to come out of you, but we don't focus on that. We go immediately back onto alignment. What is an alignment for you? We put our focus on the new. Make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I know it's been a while. Whenever I put some type of linear habit on something, right, that I want to put out these series of videos, I do everything but that. It's being quantum. We're not linear. As soon as you get into this linear box where you're headed down the pipe, your life will rearrange itself. Your life doesn't want to be in a linear timeline. It wants to be quantum, vertical. It can either be horizontal, moving outwards in a time wormhole, or we can be vertical, experiencing all dimensions at once, being infinite where there's no time. There's no schedules, there's no deadlines, there's just you flowing. This is Roxanne, this is EARTH1111. Please subscribe and hit the bell, and I appreciate you if you can share the video.